Answers and explanation General STUIDs P Test 2131 2017. Q1.B Statement 1 is correct. He can grant pardons, reprieves, respites and remissions of punishment or suspend, remit and commute the sentence of any person convicted of any offense against any law relating to matter to which the executive power of the state extends. Statement 2 is not correct. He can nominate one member to the state legislature assembly from the Anglo-Indian community. He nominates 1/6 of the members of the state legislative council from amongst persons having special knowledge or practical experience in literature, science, art, cooperative movement and social service. Statement 3 is not correct. He has no diplomatic, military or emergency powers like the president. The international treaties and agreements are negotiated and concluded on behalf of the president. However, they are subject to the approval of the parliament. Q2.E In situ bioremediation, the treatment of contaminated soil or water in the site in which it was found. Examples: bioventing, supply of air and nutrients through wells to contaminated soil. Biosparging, air or oxygen and nutrients if needed are injected into the saturated zone to increase the biological activity of the indigenous microorganisms. Bioaugmentation, importing microorganisms to contaminated site. Ex situ bioremediation, the treatment of contaminated soil or water once it has been excavated or pumped out of the location at which it was found. Examples: soil biopiles is a process where piles of soil are placed over top of a vacuum pump. The vacuum pump pulls air through the pile of soil to allow oxygen to get through the soil to the microorganisms. Contaminants which may be turned into gas forms are easily controlled as they are simply sucked with the air stream through the soil. Composting is a treatment where the waste is mixed in with straw, hay or corn cobs to maximize the water levels and air levels which the microorganisms have access to. Land farming, the soil is spread out over a pad which has a system that is used to collect any of the residual liquids from the soil which may be toxic. The soil is turned over regularly to allow air to mix air in with the excavated soil. In this environment, the microorganisms present in the soil are more able to break down the contaminants in the soil. Q3.E A geographical indication GI is a sign used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or a reputation that are due to that origin. In order to function as a GI, the sign must identify the product as originating in a given place. In Srikala HST style of Andhra Pradesh, a pen is used for freehand drawing and then filled with colors. Deities and scenes taken from the great Hindu epics Ramayana and Mahabharata and the mythological classics are drawn on fabrics by hand. It was accorded geographical indication in 2006. To www.visionis.in copyright Vision IAS. Falkari is traditional embroidery of Punjab. It was accorded geographical indication in 2010. Imbuga silk is a variety of wild silk geographically tagged to the state of Assam in India. The silk is known for its extreme durability and has a natural yellowish golden tint with a shimmering, glossy texture. Imbuga silk was recognized as a protected geographical indication GI in 2007 and was granted a GI logo for trademark purposes in 2014. Q4.A Statement 1 is correct. The Chenab is the largest tributary of the Indus. It is formed by two streams, the Chandra and the Beta, which join at Tandi near Shillong in Himachal Pradesh. Hence, it is also known as Chandrabhaga. Statement 2 is not correct. The Jhelum rises from a spring at Varanag situated at the foot of the Pir Panjal in the southeastern part of the valley of Kashmir. It flows through Srinagar and the Willard Lake before entering Pakistan through a deep narrow gorge. It joins the Chenab near Jahang in Pakistan. The Beas, which originates from the Beas Kund near the Rohtang Pass, meets the Satluj near Harik. Statement 3 is not correct. Jhelum flows through Srinagar and passes through Willard Lake. Ravi rises west of the Rohtang Pass in the Kulu Hills of Himachal Pradesh. Q5.B The crop described in the paragraph is rubber. It is an important industrial raw material. In India, it is mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. It requires humid climate with rainfall more than 200 centimeters and it is generally grown in slopes or undulated topography to avoid water stagnation. Sugarcane, Mercury's temperature in the range 21 degrees C to 27 degrees C. Annual rainfall between 75 centimeters and 100 centimeters. Maize requires temperature between 21 degrees C to 27 degrees C, grown under semi-arid climatic conditions. Wheat requires a cool growing season and a bright sunshine at the time of ripening. It requires 50 to 75 centimeters of annual rainfall evenly distributed over the growing season. Q6.D More than 100,000 olive ridley turtles visit the sandy beaches of Orissa for mass nesting every year between December and April. Olive ridley turtles that commonly nest along the eastern coast of India are in danger of becoming extinct. Beach erosion and cyclonic storms have reduced the size of the Government beach considerably. This has caused problems in mass nesting. The turtles have also been subject to mass mortality because of the introduction of mechanized fishing. They are faced with threats not only in the coast but in the coastal waters also. Casualties take place when these turtles get caught in trawl fishing nets as incidental catch. Another cause of disturbance is artificial lighting along the coastline. Sea turtles which nest at night get disoriented by artificial lights and are known to avoid brightly illuminated beaches. Further, sea turtle hatchlings emerging from the nests at night are strongly oriented towards the source of illumination and straight away from the nesting beach. All options are correct. Q7.D Causes of the revolt. Political causes. The discontent and disaffection manifested in the form of revolts against the British government were not confined to the ruling chiefs and royal families alone. On the contrary, the British rule was disliked by the people at large in any region when it was newly introduced. The doctrine of lamps, particularly its practical application by Lord Dalhousie, produced grave discontent and alarm among the native princes, who were directly affected. Economic causes. The huge drain of wealth, the destruction of its industry and increasing land revenue had become the common features of the latter half of the 18th century. The East India Company, after attaining political power, used it to fund the growth of British trade and commerce at the cost of Indians. The British damaged the Indian trade and manufacture by imposing a high tariff in Britain against Indian goods, and by encouraging all means the import of British goods to India. The new plantation system introduced in the year 1833 resulted in incalculable misery for the Indian peasants. This was a result of permitting Englishmen to acquire land plantations in India. The hard hit were the peasants on the indigo plantations in Bengal and Bihar. Statement 1 is correct. Social causes. The Englishmen showed an arrogant attitude towards the Indians. Indiscriminate assaults on Indians by Englishmen became quite common. Also, the general alarm was raised among the Hindus and 3 www.visionism. Copyright Vision IAS. Muslims by the activities of the Christian missionaries. The educational institutions established by the missionaries inculcated Western education and culture in the place of Oriental learning. Statement 2 is correct. The native population felt that were losing their social identity. Military causes. Discontent against the British Raj was widely prevalent among the Indian soldiers in the British Army. The Indian sepoys in the British Indian Army nursed a sense of strong resentment at their low salary and poor prospects of promotion. The British military officers at times showed least respect to the social values and religious sentiments of Indian sepoys in the army. Another important cause of the sepoys' dissatisfaction was the order that abolished the foreign allowance or bata when they served in foreign territories. Statement